One of these is Alton Brown's Perfect Margarita. The other is from Jean-Felix at Truffles on the Rocks. What do these have in common? Both of them use homemade orange liqueur and both follow the original Daisy recipe. I'm not sure how this is going to play out, so let's just get into it. The whole reason this came up is at a recent dinner party we were trying to decide the best way to turn the last few ounces of a $500 tequila into a margarita. And since I was out of simple syrup, I suggested that we use powdered sugar. I've used this in a lot of my videos. I like the silkiness it adds to a cocktail. We then discussed something Alton had said. Sours are sweetened with sugar, daisies are sweetened with the orange liqueur. Since a margarita is a daisy, well, I had to think about that for a moment because I don't recall many margarita recipes that didn't use sugar, simple syrup, agave syrup, sweet and sour mix. With this nice of a tequila, I felt we would just be drinking a lot of lime. The daisy is an interesting study because it really doesn't exist anymore. Outside of some ridiculous vintage wannabe speakeasy, you won't see this on any menu, just its descendants, like the margarita, the Mai Tai, or the sidecar. Boothby's Guide from 1891 lists the daisy as pretty cut and dry, just the spirit, the sour, and the orange liqueur. I don't have a Jerry Thomas guide, but I found reference to gum syrup as an option. The daisy pretty much died out during Prohibition, so by the time we get to the Gentleman's Companion from 1930, the only mention of the daisy is from Facundo Bacardi, who makes a rum daisy in Cuba, sweetened with simple syrup and yellow chartreuse. That actually sounds nice. Both Alton and Truff made their own orange liqueur. I've got them both cooking sous vide right now. The full recipes are in their respective videos. I'll link them below and just cover the highlights. These are orange peel, sugar, booze, and dried bitter orange peel. My grocery store has regular dried orange peel. It's not the same stuff. You need bitter orange peels. The recipe really doesn't work without it. Alton added Sumo mandarin peels, and Truffy blended Everclear into his vodka to bring it up to 45%. That way, when you add all the sugar, it ends up at 80 proof, where Alton's will be less than that. I found a single vodka that was 45%. The recipe also calls for brandy. I'm using Pierre Ferrand Ambre. One of these will have a standard salt rim, and Alton went a little fancy, so I've mixed in some Li Hing Mui powder and spicy Gusano salt. Any excuse to get out my McDonald's Daisy glasses. I love these. I guess I should taste test both of these orange liqueurs. Okay, these are nice, pleasant. Obviously one is sweeter than the other. The Sumo Mandarin makes a difference, but I'm not sure it's an improvement. I think the biggest difference is in the proof of the vodka, and the higher proof definitely has the better, essence. Here's the deal. I would never teach you how to make a Dunderee Jamaican rum. Hampton has been doing that since 1753. Isla whiskey goes back to about the same time. Do you want to try my homemade peated whiskey? Grand Marnier started focusing on orange liqueur in 1880. Cointreau opened in 1849, didn't perfect their recipe until 1875. 25 years of trial and error. Combier, 1834. Bowles, that stuff on the bottom shelf, 1575. 450 years of experience. Sometimes it's better to just leave things to the professionals. Both Alton and Jean-Felix like to use a sipping tequila for their margaritas. This is one case where I personally don't agree. I like cheap tequila margaritas. I think cheap tequila and lime go very well together. A nice tequila may get lost in the lime and orange, but I'll use Alton's choice. I don't think Truffles told us what he used. I want to taste test these live. Can we go live? Yes? Okay, go. Alton's is kind of exactly how I expected it to be. It's not a bad cocktail. I'm just not sure I would call this a margarita. It has all the parts of a margarita, but it's a lot of orange. I think I would call this a tequila daisy. The extra sugar does help balance this cocktail a little better, and the orange is definitely toned down. It's nice, pleasant. It tastes like a margarita. I sent over a preliminary version of this video to Alton and Jean-Felix so I could get their opinion before I post. Oh, that's them now. Hey guys, did you like my video?
No! Fuck no!
Oof, maybe I shouldn't have done this live. I guess we have a perfect daisy and a perfect margarita, but what do I consider a perfect margarita? Before we get to that, let's make this. Facundo Bacardi's Daisy de Santiago. This is straight out of The Gentleman's Companion, a book series from the 1930s that showcased food and drink from around the world. And this was from Edificio Bacardi, a small skyscraper in Havana. The original recipe is basically a frozen daiquiri built over shaved ice, and I don't think I would enjoy that as much as I would a standard daiquiri. We're using Bacardi Heritage 1909, which would be more appropriate than the current Bacardi. Oh wow, that's an amazing drink. The problem is, the price of yellow chartreuse has skyrocketed. This mixer is twice the cost of the rum, even this fancy version. Let's find a more cost-appropriate bottle of Bacardi. There it is, the Daisy de Paraíso. That is indescribably delicious. Okay, back to the margaritas. What do I think is a perfect margarita? Well, I've had plenty that are perfect, all from different places using different ratios and different tequilas. But which one do I make at home when I want a margarita? I always rim with worm salt. I said that earlier. Gusano, the mezcal worm, ground up with salt. Only for tourists. I love this stuff. Lime can easily drown out the tequila, and I find that fancier restaurants tend to do this by using a full ounce of fancier, milder tequila and overshaking with wet ice. I don't want too much orange. It should be complementary, not a main flavor. I've been using Arancia Radical, which is lemon, lime, bergamot, sweet and bitter orange with late harvest Chicouli mandarin. You get the orange, but you get so much more. I hope more people pick up on this. I'm finding it harder and harder to come by. A scant teaspoon of powdered sugar will cut any tartness from the lime. I'd rather err on the sweet side than the tart side, and this will add just a hint of silkiness. As I said before, I prefer cheap tequila. I like the way cheap tequila margaritas taste. Using something fancier, well, those are nice to sip on, but the subtle flavors get lost in this cocktail, and Hornitos came highly recommended. I also like to add mezcal, something nice and smoky. I like that rich roasted agave flavor and the depth that develops with the smoke. Nothing like it. This is my perfect margarita. That's absolutely amazing. If you're here, you've probably already subscribed to Alton Brown and Truffles on the Rocks. Alton has great production value, and Jean-Felix is totally Rico Suave, and they're both knowledgeable and entertaining. If you don't know them, check them both out, and I'll catch you at the next happy hour.